Hello there, everybody, and welcome. This is the first episode of my new and very first gameplay series for Songs of SYX in the version 65. We're playing the quaint town of SYTHILON. So this is going to be also my very first roleplay run for Songs of SYX, so we have a couple of things and the story behind this that will influence this gameplay series. For the map tile, we're sitting on, like the name might already have implied, on huge amounts of SITHILON. This map has a +4 modifier on that stuff, so it's nearly as good as it can get. Sure, it can get a little bit better, but there's really not much more that we could wish for. The map itself has, apart from that, no other benefits. It has an average fertility of 60-ish%, and I've also put the seed for this world in the description box. So now let's get to the story of this place. So I figured that it would be boring to play without a proper story and just build a city. So the story goes like this. We, the SYTHILONians, originate from the guild. That's a German way of saying that. But whatever. We're originating from this place, and in my story, we are sent out to get that SITHILON out of this place. So we're basically slaves to SITHILON. The roleplay effects are we have to gift away 90% of our mined out SITHILON whenever we end a year. We are also forced to research the SITHILON mining technology as soon as feasible. You know, we surely can bring up a bit of a city first, but it should be the first industry, the first heavy industry that will be building up, that will be not aimed to civic improvements. So we're totally bound to farm a lot of SITHILON and give it away to our neighbors. Apart from that, we're also forced to do, if we do any military action, it has to go down on the Tilapi around us first, as we are here not allowed to gain any territory, not from the humans. The Cretonians are also off limits. Roleplay-wise, I want to have the aggression between the humans and the Tilapi. You know, that's a very interesting point here, as we have a huge Tilapi faction right next door. The humans around us are rather weak, and we are part of that. This whole SITHILON tribute situation can only end if I have succeeded in two things. First up, I should have at least 2 territories under my control and have them develop properly, and then we have to submit these guys, aka conquer them. As you see there, they aren't that strong yet. I don't know how it will have an influence on them after they get gifted one of the most precious resources in the game that much. And if that doesn't work out as intended, we have also the Halisa people right next door that form, in my fantasy, an empire. They are not belonging to each other, but we could, if that all goes too easy, we're going to say that we have to overthrow both human empires. We'll see about that. I cannot formulate these goals too clearly, as I am not experienced enough with version 65. So the city is going to be composed out of humans. In the story, I will allow myself to pick up Dondorians, as Dondorians are, you know, they are drawn by the smell of that stuff. We are pretty much the biggest SYTHILON city that I've ever built in this game, and Dondorians want a whiff of that. Especially they can live here in the mountains and make an excellent addition to the city. So join me in the story of SYTHILON, and I hope we're going to have some fun together with that. There's a lot of things that we can still develop, but that's the basic story that we're going to follow. I'd say we aim for a SYTHILON mine at the latest in year 10. I think that's a realistic goal. And yeah, let's get started, shall we? So I've been already looking around on this map a little bit, and we got a river over here. Roleplay wise, I have decided to not cross this river until we have at least some diplomatic contacts with the Tilapi or militarily overthrown them. Like, this is off limits for now, as this is cool, a cool land that I want to lock for myself for later. It's also really hard to defend land, by the way, because it's very close to the map's borders. We would need to build a city wall up here. It's going to be quite interesting. Now, let's move on over. We got 10 people, and the first things that we always need to take care of, that's just the food production. So we're going to go fishing and pasturing to begin with. And for that, let's see. I think we're going to start with some good old-fashioned entelodont. Humans are not really good or bad at pasturing, so that doesn't matter too much. Let's see, I want to configure how the city flows. So we have the main trade road here. So we're going to evolve the city around that. That means we will let the city flow, well, pretty much in the center of the map. The area here around the forests, that's pretty much where we will do our agriculture. I see the fields that we're going to have over here. I think our forestry might be happening here, maybe partially here, but I think the industry will be happening all here. So, yeah. I love to have a basic idea of how my city will be composed. So since we already now know that our agricultural district will be that way, it is totally okay to start out with the pasture here. So I don't want to build a too large one, but I also don't want to make it too small. I think this is a good start. So, the edge of the room. There we go. So this series, by the way, I do aim for as regular releases as possible, daily if possible. So basically whenever I have something pre-recorded, I will schedule it for a daily release if I can. So if you want to support this channel, there's also channel membership by now, and all the scheduled episodes will be available for you to preview. That's a little thing, but don't you worry, there will be never anything behind any stupid paywalls or so. Every episode will be released the day after the previous one, as long as I have one pre-recorded. End of the story. You can also go down in the description box and check out all the other support links. Big thanks to all of you who already do. Just wanted to mention that real quick. Alright, the pasture will be built quite quickly. Let's see. Do I have enough wood for that? Of course not. So we're going to terraform and fell trees. So food production is always the most important thing to start with. We're starting in the springtime, so foraging is not possible yet, but I shall go for a few foraging commands. It ain't much that we can procure this way, but, well, it's better than nothing, and it's food. So the other thing that we require is a warehouse. We're going to start out with a real tiny one, as we are currently just really starting out. Let's attach that to the throne room. Real itty-bitty, real bad little warehouse. So we're going to put a double thing there. Always remember to change the material. When you're building your first warehouses, they're always pre-configured to be made out of mud. Mud is the worst noob trap ever, as it takes literally forever to build something made out of mud. Alright, so we're going to build this like that. Yeah, that's okay. It's not the most effective warehouse ever, but it's also not the most inefficient ever. So I'll be punching some holes in the walls here, so people can access the warehouse from different angles. It's always nice when you have haulers. Makes them more efficient and doesn't make the building worse in any way. Can just configure how the house will be, or the building will be accessed this way. Alright, we put down a construction command, but that job is suspended? You can actually suspend walls too? I had no clue. Alright. It's always fun when you discover that things are possible that you didn't know of. So this way they'll be building the walls, but not the rest. Okay, so we got that down. Now, the most basic human needs, we're going to build ourselves a hearth. So this will be still very village center-like. I imagine that we just arrived here and therefore things will be built rather small for now. But we're gonna stop being small rather quickly. Therefore, well, we're going to build a small well. Alright, I don't want to put down too many other work orders, as are people here. The 10 people they just need to get their job done. Currently they're chopping wood just to get the wood directly to the construction site. Well, or at least I thought so. So at the very beginning of the game, a little bit of extra micromanagement never hurts. So we're going to delete those woodcutting jobs again so people can pick up the other tasks first. There we go. It's really important for me that we get the pasture done as fast as possible, as food production is absolutely imperative. We do have a couple of rations that bring us through the beginning of the game, yes, but that is hardly sufficient for a longer period of time. That, though, will crank out food on a daily basis. Okay, now that's done. We will now activate the warehouse job yet again, because I really want to have a bit of storage capacity. Especially want to be able to see what we have stored, you know. It should suffice for now. Let's see. We have a consumption rate of 5 food per day. We're currently producing 3.75 food per day. So we are not overproducing or we don't have enough food. Here we ran out of wood, by the way. It's always very dangerous early on. But we're on a good start. And the best thing about this thing is that it will be... no, it won't be growing because we are full of animals. Okay. Well, after warehouse, I probably will just build up yet another pasture. It's a pretty high likelihood of that happening. Okay, so the warehouse is done, finally. Let's put up some crates. 5 for meat, 5 for wood, 5 for stone, so we have the most basic things down. There will be much more things that we need to store over the course of the time. Let's see. Definitely will want to have another piece of livestock. We have some grain in the stockpiles here too. Let's see. Does that perish quickly? 25% per year. Yeah, well, we're going to give it a crate here. And we're going to put auto-employ on for the warehouses. I don't like auto-employ in general, but for warehouses, it's, for me, pretty much what I consider a necessary evil. Now, fishery is just not really feasible right now. Logistically, we would move so far away from the center of our little settlement here that I think it will be much more intelligent to just do another Entelodon pasture. So, shift left click that thing to do an exact copy of it, which is pretty nice at the beginning. So we can just copy pasta that thing. So this will get us at least the food that we require. A couple of trees extra to be chopped. And once that's down, we're going to take care of a couple of roofs above our heads. Right now, the people are most likely sleeping in the warehouse, I think. You know, it's a hard knock life, but what can we do? We have at least a ton of wood available right now, so we don't need to worry too much about that. So, 3 more herders employed, and with that, our food intake should turn positive at some point. The thing here is that we're currently most likely not going to see that many animals here on the farm, as you need livestock. This is produced daily, but we're now only slowly going to crank up our production. But it is a good start. Now then, we're going to require crates for the fruit and for the veg, even if it's only the stuff that we're procuring by gathering. Now, let's see, what can we build to make our city a tad bit happier? Yeah, exactly, housing, that's what I had in mind. Okay, now, The fine people of Sithlonia have found a place to live at. I will be putting down some quaint houses right next to the pastures, and then we're going to draw out some streets. I'm going to give a lot of effort in the series to make the city grow organically. That means I'm going to try and think about how these people will build everything, because it's flowing alongside their necessities, not so much because I do a big plan for it or something like that. Alrighty, so let's check with our people here. How happy are the humans of Sithlonia? So they are happy-ish about the stockpiles of food that are starting to pile up. We are happy about the well and the hearth that is available. I guess it is time that we're setting up a speaker's place too. So that is one employee that will be standing right next to the hearth and the well, I think. So basically, this is the point where our esteemed leader Irving is proclaiming that. Here, wait, where are we? Here. No, Ragnar. Irving was the previous worker around Ragnar. Our esteemed leader Ragnar is proclaiming that we have work to do and we're slaves to SITHILON. I think this is the moment that the other humans here in the city fully understand their job, or maybe some of them already did. I don't know. I'll leave it up to your imagination. So up here we see we have still 3 odd jobbers available, but that's that. The speaker will take up that point here, and he'll be providing extra services for the city. That'll be very, very important. So let's see, we have now we are almost over the threshold of food that we require, but we do have the forage in the warehouse now too. So I think with the patches that we got here, we will be able to get our yearly food intake in. We're doing the pasturing for what it's worth. Each day we take in almost everything we require, and we're going to go for foraging in the outskirts of the city now. That surely will bring us up what we need. Okay, look at that. The first person wants to come over to Sithlonia. Isn't that nice? Okay, let's slow down speed and check out this humble little hamlet. Yeah, that's the best word that I can find for it. Okay, so humans excel at farming, bureaucracy, and what was it again? Let's see, loop-de-doo, employment-wise. So yeah, they enjoy farming. They're not necessarily particularly good at it, or no, that is the good at it. They don't enjoy anything except for judging people, being in the senior's house, being doctors, scientists, and they like to work in the logistics department. Jeez. That's humans. But in the description, when you select them, you already get told that they are difficult to please, and you see it here. Humans just hate to work, just in real life. I think I missed the guard posts. Yeah, they love to play policeman. Yeah, it's a very realistic depiction of humans overall. Agree with that. Right. Jokes aside, our city must grow. We have here now a really cool start, but that won't get us far. So let's see, what can we do? What can we expand on? We got the hearth. Ah, yeah, the lavatory. But I know what is necessary next, and that is the... We could put up a bakery, but that's way too early for us now. We are going to put up a carpenter, but I think I'm going to put up a bakery quite soonish as well. Anyways, the carpenter. Since I am planning to do my forestry business into this direction, I think the carpenter will be best off living there. So since we already have a road leading towards this direction, I think we're going to go and start drawing that road over there. So let's let it flow a little bit more naturally so we don't have those sharp cut borders everywhere. There we go. So we're slowly getting over over to this place. There we go. So we're going to make our first Carpenter's Workshop sit here. It's nicely close to the next forest, and that's that. It's also my very first attempt to make a nice-looking city in Songs of SYX, so be kind to me. I'm new to this. Usually I make only tutorials, and I'm totally aiming for efficiency here. Alright, so the Carpenter's Workshop, we're going to go for that. I mean, I'm aware of the fact that you can't just go for fun things like here. Making a bit of a shape into the building, something like that. It's very easily done, and it has a pretty nice big impact into the... Ooh, that works like that. Into the shape of the building. But as you see there, it's a tad bit finicky at times, but whatever. It is so much worth it. Okay. Let's nah, that's not cool. Let's do something like that. It's also not right. That should be right. There we go. But that's not symmetric. That looks really not good. So now it's looking better. It has now at least the same distance from each other. Yeah, I mean, those little things, they don't really do count that much, but at least it's not an eyesore anymore. That is something that I'm trying to pay more attention in this playthrough than usual. I hope you like it. Now then, so we're going to put up some auxiliaries here and there, but we need to take care that they don't block the walkways too badly. So we're going to put that down like this. And like that. So 24 people can work here. That's actually way more than I actually aimed for, but whatever. It ain't bad or so. It's actually not bad at all. Not bad at all. This looks really dope. It's one of my best looking blueprints so far. And this is something that we're just going to keep like that. And let's pick up some stone. This is also sadly a pretty big project for the city, but it doesn't matter that badly as we are now set up for survival. We ain't got no farming yet. It sucks a bit, but it's okay. Since the second pasture will now only grow, since there will be more animals coming up there, we will be easily capable of getting our food intake in. And as you see here, we have now 28 days of food storage available. Wonderful. So that easily lets us authorize extra workers here. Okay, so homelessness is still abroad. Well, I think that's just the people that don't have a job yet. So we're going to build some housing into the vicinity of the carpentry for sure, but one thing at a time. So far, the people of SITHILON are in for a good start. The carpenter will be one of the very first things that we do, as it is really important for our city. And I think I will be adding Dondorians very, very, very early into the playthrough, out of two reasons. First of all, humans and Dondorians go really well together. And the second part is the sheer abundance of SITHILON of this place must make this city a mecca for the Dondorians. They really want to be here. And they will shape the story of this place as well. Heck, at the end of the day, it might be the Dondorians doing that we rebel against or against our guild masters one day. Because they will be telling us that they actually think that we should be our own masters and give them all the SITHILON to work with, but since they are basically SITHILON junkies, they don't care. It's okay for them if they can work with the wares. At least that's how I imagine it. Now, the carpenter, by the way, offers you the access to furniture, which is one of the most important early game goods. It will allow us to build pretty much everything we require early on, therefore I'm rushing it, as we are now totally stable food-wise. this thing is getting only better and better. And before we know it, we can easily get ourselves some farms going. But one thing at a time. Population is hard to get and hard to hold, so I'm rather careful here. All right, we have the most basic of services around here, and I already can tell that we're off for a good start. I'm not quite sure if this start area here will stay like that. I highly doubt it, in all honesty. We should also consider setting up a market quite soon, as this is just one of the things that you have. Oh, a food stall. Hell yeah. That is... let's set up the utmost basics, huh? Alright, food stall goes right next to the basic area where people are living at, where you have your newsman and such. So we're going to bring up a few stalls. Let's see. Let's go for the more narrow version. So we're going to bring them up like that. And probably like that. So 1.2 employees, perfect. So that's step one, and the other thing is a tiny little market. We're only going to make it as large as that. And let's see, that's a good amount of employees on that. Oh, we need furniture for that one. Alright, never mind me. So we're going to assign that, and we're just going to suspend that job. Just like that. As you see, furniture, it's popping up already. The main villain of this game. So once we have the carpenter running, and the food stall as well, I think we could consider getting ourselves a bakery running. But I don't know yet. So we're leaving the first year quite soon. The first year of Sithlonia goes soon to an end. What did we achieve? We have 2 pastures for now. We are building our first food stalls. The carpenter's workshop is being furnished. The building itself is already constructed. You're only building the workbenches and all the things that you require. We have a couple of houses. Some people are still roaming around and probably sleeping in the warehouse and in the throne room, or wherever there's a fire source. Probably next to the hearth, not when it's not in the winter. But we will have the accommodations soon as well. I don't know. There is technically enough housing for those people. But, well, maybe they don't want to live together and it's not enough houses because they're not of a family or so. I haven't ever looked into close detail into these things. Either way, the food stall is open. So our fine humans can now get themselves the food that they need. Let's bring up some dirt road over this entire area so it turns into a nice plaza. There we go. Alrighty. That was not intended to build a dirt road there, but whatever. So the downside of what I'm doing here is that my dudes are building roads instead of the Carpenter's workshop. Songs of SYX has that really, really weird interaction where the game takes the last order as the most important one. So it's basically last first, and the latest first, and the first one last. And that is a little bit weird at times. But with suspension of jobs, you can get that done. Alright, so minus 21 workers. Who would have thought that? So, of course, we turn off the auto-employment here. That is one of the fields where I don't like auto-employment at all. And I'd say with the building of that workshop, Dorian came along and was like, "You have a fine little carpentry here, human. Do you mind?" So the carpentry exudes a lot of noise. Noise is not liked when you live somewhere, so we're going to have the houses for the carpenters a little bit outsourced. So This little forest patch here, I don't want to destroy it right away, as it can be still used for several things. We will instead build ourselves 2 houses here alongside of the road. I like that idea. As space is right now available, that's just happening. Alright, so we have our first Dondorian in the city, and these guys are just much more productive than humans in terms of craftsmanship, or should I say crafts Dondorianship, and yeah, they will just get us way more furniture in a way shorter amount of time, so... And it fits into the narrative as well. Well, my good friends, the only thing missing from today's episode is the marketplace. That will take a little bit longer until it is finished, but we'll be getting there. We now have a steadily increasing income of food. Oh yeah, we should actually get ourselves a stockpile for livestock. And let's reactivate the marketplace job. Alright, so 15 pieces of furniture are necessary. That'll take a couple of days. As you see, we're currently producing 1 piece of furniture a day. Yes, that's our ratio right now. So that'll take a couple of days extra. I won't be fast forwarding just for the sake of completing the market, as we are working on a clock here. Our guild masters are waiting, and therefore we're going to go for a bad. Oh, I feel like these guys are also allied with us. If anybody knows how this new version 65 diplomacy system really works, let me know. I'll try to get smarter about it as well. Until then, I will outro today's episode, and thanks for being around. It's been my pleasure. I hope you had a good time as well. I certainly enjoyed this game a ton, and let's see where SYTHILON will go for the next couple of episodes. So leave me your comments. Let me know what you think about it so far. And a thumbs up would be wildly appreciated, because the algorithm loves that stuff. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I do lots of stuff. Gameplays, tutorials, and the like, and I'd be very, very happy if you'd give it a go. The description box down there does include, like I said, the seed for this map, so you can get the exactly same map, only a same-ish map, but it can be fun. And you'll also find the link to my Discord server, so if you want to hang out and chat, go check it out. I'd be really happy to have you folks. And again, at this point, big thanks to the supporters of the channel. Patreon, PayPal, and Buy Me a Coffee are there for you, and I appreciate you guys so much. And last but not least, to all of you who are still hanging out here after the ad roll and all that, thanks for that. I really appreciate everybody watching the videos until the bitter end. This is really nice of you, and I hope you are having a fine day. See you there on the next episode. Bye-bye.